It's on. See, that's the big clue on the front. So pan the audience real quick, sir, so they can see the red light. That means the thing's working, which means your words, your deeds, your face are now immortalized via the internet for all eternity. Because we know the internet will last forever, beyond the burning power of the sun. These electronic radiations will emanate across the universe. And that is what liberty is about. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shane Bruce. I am your Libertarian candidate for insurance commissioner, just like it says right here on this spiffy little label I got. This constitutes the bulk of my campaign, this name tag. I've had to buy two because I lost the first one at a campaign event at Lake Lanier, but we won't go into detail on that. I'm pleased and proud to be here with the Athens affiliate LP party, because normally I hang with my peeps down in DeKalb County. And I'll tell you up front, boys and girls, there is no mightier LP affiliate in the state of Georgia than the DeKalb County LP. We are troublemakers. We run candidates. We talk smack. We try to raise a tiny bit of money just so we can pay the bar bill at the end of the evening. I was graciously invited to attend your meeting by Doug. Big round of applause for Doug. Doug and you guys took extremely effective action earlier this month by mounting an aerial assault on Sanford Stadium, baby. Think about that. That banner was videotaped. That banner has been looped around the world several times. It's an old school, old style political stunt that put John Mon's name in front of what? 100, 120, 130,000 people. A singular event in their lives on that day. Something they went to the office and talked about the following day. Hey, you know what I saw flying around over the stadium? Damn airplane with some guy named Mons on it. Is that a candy bar or something? You know? Conversation probably went 50 million different ways, but conversation was had. And that is the objective of this year's campaign. Our objectives, limited though they are vital and important to each and every one of you sitting in this room. The overall objective of the Libertarian Party in this campaign cycle, in my twisted mind, is our candidate for governor, John Mons, getting 20% plus one of the vote. Now, why is that critical? It's critical in Georgia because if we have a gubernatorial candidate do that, then the Libertarian Party transforms. We are currently a political body because of the hard work and struggle of the people that have gone before us, before me, before you, before Doug, before anybody. The LP has access to statewide races. And that's kind of crazy contradiction. You know, we're a small little band of political insurgents, and yet we have access to statewide races. We can run a candidate for governor. We can run a candidate, a hell of a candidate, for U.S. Senate. This guy is incredible. We can run a hell of a candidate for lieutenant governor. This guy is incredible. He flies high. Dan Barber is a principled guy. He gets it way up here. And when you're way up here, you know what happens? Nobody can get to you from down here, because you ain't playing down in the gutter. Now, I'm not a high-flying guy, and I'm not a great guy, but in my own way, I think I'm an effective guy. So the focus for us at the convention in April was to, A, put a complete slate of candidates in the field. Think about that. 10 candidates, 10 guys running for office as Libertarians. Never been done before in the history of the party. Never been done before in the history of the party. And it came to pass. All right, so now we're all out beating the bushes. We're looking for votes. We're squabbling around trying to pick 20 bucks here, 1995 there. You know, a little bit of money to try and get some footprint established in traditional media. Some of us, me, have forgot about that completely because it ain't going to happen for my 1995 campaign. Instead, I'm concentrating on dominating the blogosphere in Georgia. I'm concentrating on dictating my opponent's news cycles. Now, how is that happening? It's a pretty simple process, boys and girls. How many people in here got a blog? Got any bloggers in the room? One? Just one? Come on, some of you guys got blogs.
This is good enough for all of us.
I read them.
They're free. All you got to do is go to WordPress, bang, get a blog. Anybody thought about blogging? Okay, stop thinking, start doing, all right? Anybody got a website? Any websites in this room? Okay, more websites, great. What is the common thing about blogs and websites? Blogs have URLs. Websites have URLs. And what is the great God of the internet that dictates to all of us what we find out about where we shop, where we go?
Google.
Google. And what does Google have? Google has minions. Minions and underlings. Little Google bots all around on the internet, right and left, every day, 24/7, tirelessly, always searching for something new. And they're always always looking for something that's new, that's repeated here, and replicated there, and replicated there. If I put a story out on my blog, Legend Obscure, and I encourage each and every one of you to dash over there, put it on your hot sheet, make sure you visit every freaking day, because every freaking day there's something weird at Legend Obscure. It should get a chuckle out of you. You might have some awareness raised. I might say something I don't believe the Testament, and if I do, please comment. But every time I put something up at Legend Obscure, if it's picked up by another blog a little later, and another blog a little later, or flipped to a Facebook page a little later, then suddenly that one idea now has 7 points of contact, or 12 points of contact, or 300 points of contact. And the gogglebots all say, geez, this is important. This belongs on page 1. And that's where it goes. If you Google my name, anybody here got a Crackberry or a web and ink phone? Let's do a little contest real quick. First thing you do, type in Shane Bruce, S-H-A-N-E, B-R-U-C-E. Type that in. Quickly. What you'll discover is I own the first page on Google. It's my place. I own it. If you use a selective filter, let's say we look at something that's been published in the last week, I own the first 3 pages. If you look at the last 24 hours, it's all my baby. Now, as another part of the experiment, I want you to type in the name Ralph Hudgens, who is the Republican I'm running against. Type him in. You'll discover that I own Ralph's ass as well. Because nobody writes about Ralph but me. Now, I don't write terrible stuff about Ralph, but I do write truthful stuff about Ralph.
You currently own the first 2 pages.
Thank you, sir. And with your assistance, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we can go even deeper than that. We can dominate down to 25th level results. But that's pointless because no one ever goes there. Has anybody ever gone to page 50 on a Google search?
When I was first learning to look for porn.
Well, yeah, they had the really good stuff on page 50.
I read somewhere that something like 98% of Google users never get off the first page. So if they don't find it on the first page, they've lost interest off to go somewhere. I find that amazing and amusing. I also own my Democrat opponent's internet space, Mary Squires, because Mary doesn't write any more about her stuff and campaign than Ralph does. And Ralph doesn't write anything at all because Ralph is the Republican. He's got the money. He's got the letter. He's got first position on the ballot. He's going to freaking win. I mean, there is no way in hell Ralph Hudgens can lose this race unless, like that Louisiana governor once said, he's found in bed with a, what is it, live boy or a dead girl, or is it live girl or dead boy? It's a variation of that. Dead girl, live boy. Okay. So, you know, Ralph's pretty much a shoe-in because we've all heard that this is the year of the Republican tsunami in Georgia. You know, I don't quite agree with it, totally. You know, if you look at that poll that topped out today, the latest thing that just came out, John Mons, our guy, went from 3% in the previous poll to 5%, and undecideds are at 10%. That tells me we got 15% of the slice right there. And with guys like, when you're running against guys like Nathan Deal and Casey Cagle and Ralph Hudgens, my God, you know, sooner or later the stench has got to permeate, you know, through some orifice in a voter someplace, and he's got to come to a realization that this ain't what I want to do. I don't want to vote for this guy. I really want some change. I don't know what kind of change I want, but I want some damn change. I want some forward motion. I want to talk to some people that don't just think about today and are not fixated on yesterday. I want to talk to a group of people that are thinking about today, but have their eyes firmly on the future. Because the future is where we're all headed. You know, we'll be in the future in 2 seconds. Bang, we're here. Now we're going to be in the future again 2 seconds later. Well, that same process is going to play out the rest of our born days here on planet Earth. So a lot of people are thinking about where are we going and how can we get there. We as libertarians believe we have the answer. It is called liberty. 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 So I applaud all of you for showing up tonight to this LP meeting. I appreciate the fact that you managed to sit through one of my small talks. And I'm going to ask each and every one of you for 3 things. I want your vote on the 2nd of November. Shane Bruce, Insurance Commissioner. It's a dull-ass race. Yeah, I know. I mean, I can barely stand to read about it myself because it is so freaking dull. I want your vote. I want your support. And I want your support for the entire slate. I want your support for Dan Barber. I want your support for Chuck Donovan. And please, Jesus, your support for John Mons. He is the man who's carrying the load for us. If he is successful, Then in 2012, boys and girls, I'm going to be standing in front of you guys and I'm going to say, all right, which one of you people are going to run for State House? And which one of you is going to run for State Senate? Because we're going to put candidates up. We're going to run candidates. And out of 182 seats here in Georgia, in 2012, I believe the Libertarian Party is going to snatch off 15 to 20 House seats, 6 to 7, maybe 8 Senate seats. And then, glorious day it will be when everyone's sworn in and our State House and our State Senate reconvene that January. We're going to have a three-party system in Georgia. No one's going to be able to ram anything down anyone's throat. Why? Because we hold the middle, which is where libertarians live. We don't live on the far right. We don't live on the far left. We are right in that slice, right here, right in the driver's seat. And in 2012, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we can call the tune in Georgia. We can make change occur. We can right wrongs. We can seek justice. And the last thing I'm going to ask you to do, but I'm not going to ask you to do it here, is if you get a chance, and I ever get a donate button up on my blog or my Facebook page, kick 1995, the old campaign kitty. It's a 1995 campaign. It ain't a $20 campaign. You keep the nickel. I can live without that. But if I, and only if I get a donate button up. You know, I ain't managed that yet. The odds are I probably won't. But if I do, I'd really love to see a huge flood of donations come in, because that would just make me feel good. Oh, and last thing. We have an online internet thing going on called the Topics poll. Have you guys seen it? Have any of you seen this? Topics is a every damn where in cyberspace kind of outfit. Any little town in Georgia that has a newspaper has a topic.com website. They're running a poll on the elections in Georgia right now. It's really nice if you guys could get over there and vote for our candidates. It'd be even nicer if you could drop a comment in the comment boxes after you voted. Because we're all there and you have to hunt for us. You know, when you pull up the page, it just says, like the governor, it says Nathan Deal, Roy Barnes. And then it says 3 candidates. But John Mon's name isn't there. You have to click the button to vote, and then you see John Mon's name. And then you can vote for him. And the same is true in every category except, I got to take kudos here. My race, I have bumped Ralph Hudgens off the front sheet. Now it's me and Harry Squatters. Ralph has disappeared into second-tier voting. And this has upset some Ralph supporters. At least one got alarmed. But I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your attention. Thanks for having me here tonight. Now I'm going to get something to eat and we can sit around and talk, ball, scheme, plot. That's the kind of stuff I like.